Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, October 12th, 2011, and we're going to go over our morning trades here. We didn't have many, and we ended up down on both the ES and the YM. We're down 8 ticks on the ES and 8 ticks on the YM for the morning. All right, and I'll show you the trades that we had. I had some technical difficulties this morning, and I had some issues. We didn't have any trade setups in the first half an hour. Our first trade setup was here actually after about an hour and a half. After about an hour in the market. We had our first trade set up right here. I ended up taking a break even on this. It was a long trade here. You see we had the bubble down here and a pullback down to the BBC. The price advanced better than a point, so I moved my stop up to break even. It came back and got me a break even, then went up through our profit target. We did have a follow-up trade over here. You see we had the bubble and it pulled back down here. This one did not advance a full point, so I didn't move my stop up to break even, and it turned around and came back and got me. That's what got us to minus 8 ticks. So we're minus 2 points on the day in the ES. All right, from there we didn't have any other trade setups this morning. We didn't have any other trade setups. The YM was similar. There wasn't a lot going on the YM either. I'll scroll back here. This morning it took off. Now we had nothing in here, it was all chop, and I wasn't in here to do anything at that point anyway. The price took off, and we took a divergence long trade here on the close above the MA1 with this divergence down here on the combo indicator. So we got the close above the MA1, and price moved up. It moved up 11 ticks in our favor, I think, 11 points in our favor, and I moved my stop up to break even on that one, and it came back and got me a break even. Here we had a bearish cross. This was the first pullback up to the BBC with a bearish cross. Everything was pointing down here. I was thinking we were going to be okay, but we weren't. It went right through our stop into the zone here, and I was saying that in the morning session. I was saying if it goes through my stop, it's going to go up into the zone, and it did do that. We had a bullish cross here to follow that up, and a pullback down. Right over here actually was the pullback down to the... Right over here was a pullback down to the BBC, okay, to move up. And I didn't get that because that was during the break, but that right there would have been no trade actually, because we wouldn't have been trading right into the zone. So right over here we're chopping around. You know, we don't have any trade setups over here on the YM. We don't have anything over here on the ES right now either. All right, on the 10K we have a bearish cross right here, but the cycle's changing in the middle, and when it changes in the middle like that, typically that means that the market's undecided and it's choppy. Okay, we had a couple of places here where we had, the bullish cross and a pullback down to the BBC, or a bearish cross with a pullback up to the BBC, but we couldn't take it because support and resistance was too close. In all these cases, support and resistance was too close. All right, so we could not take any of those trades. On the DMT over here, we did have over here we had a cross into a blue envelope with a green trend strength line, which suggests a 5 to 6 point move in the direction of the envelope. The envelope is blue, meaning up, so we should have had 5 to 6 point move up, and we did. We had a 9 point move up. All right, that's what we had there. Now, let's jump here to the options. Okay, those of you guys who have been watching us for the last few weeks with the options, I'll go over. I'll just quickly say we had our fifth and sixth option trades in the last day, but the fifth one was the first one that was losing. Okay, we had our first option trade was good for a little better than 70%. The second one was good for a little better than 150%. The third one was good for a little better than 70%. The fourth one was good for a little better than 40%. The fifth one lost, depending where you got out of it. Last night we were saying buy the 1175 puts. At the time, I believe they were at 19, I believe 19 by 20 last night, so they're down 50% off of that right now. They were higher than that earlier today. They were at probably 14, 15, something like that. But so, we suggested bailing out of the puts. The market actually reversed last night, and then we suggested buying 1210 calls. All right, we suggested buying 1210 calls at 16 by 17. You can see right now the 1210 calls were just about in the money over here, but they didn't quite make it to the money. The high on the day was 1825 on the 1210 calls. So that's what we have going on right now with the options. Okay. I meant to not tell everybody all that stuff. I mean, I wanted to tell you about the trade that didn't work out more than the trade that we just took. I don't mean to keep giving it all away for free. Anyway, but I did. All right, that is the morning session. We really didn't have much more than that. You can see right here, we have a bearish cross and it's pulling back up to the BBC. But as I said, the cycle rolled over in the middle, and that generally indicates that the market is choppy. Okay, it generally indicates that the market is choppy. Over here, we don't have anything on the 4-tick range just yet, and we're right in the middle of a zone here on the YM. So we can't do anything right here. All right. And that is going to wrap up the morning recap, guys. Again, we're down 8 ticks here, 8 ticks here, and we're up a couple bucks on the 1210 calls after being down. Well, after being down about $10 on the puts. All right, and that is where we're going to wrap it.